Hey, welcome back to another video. This is another paid request for Business of Fear. I figure the best way to do it is separately because it took a bit longer to talk about the first issue. I'm not going to get into how I got into the turtles. I already said that in the review of issue 1. But Business Fear wanted me to go through the first 3 issues of Ninja Turtles as well as the Raphael one-shot in sort of to give my thoughts on each one. But if anyone wants to request any type of videos, movie review, re-review, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough, stuff like that, whatever the case may be, tier list, ranking, whatever, feel free to send it. I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. For those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. So to get right into it, we have issue 2, where we introduce Baxter Stockman and the Mousers, which of course those would be utilized in the 80s cartoon and the 2003 cartoon, among other stuff. Not really live action. I figure they feel they would be maybe labeled too silly, too ridiculous to do these in live action. I don't know, if you do it the right way, of course. It's got to be the right way. It could be interesting. But also it helps establish other villains, because they thought it was just going to be one issue, and that's why they killed the Shredder off so quickly. But let's get right into it. Some nice artwork here, and then you have this. What a great way to start. Just see all the details, the shading of the shadows and the darkness, the rough and tumbleness of the sewer, and you definitely see a lot more details on the bodies of the turtles. You see them without the mask. You see much more of the back of their shell. Looks like they got like a disco ball here that they found or something. Probably like junk they found that they put into their sewer home. As you have Raph and Mikey sparring. So, a lot of cool detail in this. It definitely gives that grit, dirty grit to it. So we have this established bit of business that we have Donnie with his mechanical stuff here, Leonardo being the leader reading a book, and then Raph and Mikey and much more of the rough and tumble guys, as is referenced here in dialogue. So now we're trying to get a little bit more into the differences between the turtles, because we can't look-wise, because they all look the same. But they're slowly trying to get a little bit more different type of personality as we're introduced to Baxter Stockman, which, yes, Baxter is black. I know they made him white in the 80s cartoon. I don't know why, to be honest. But we're introduced to him, and that there's an issue with rats in the city and him building this. Now, granted, in real life it seems like pretty overcomplicated to build this thing to kill your rat population, but it's a comic book. Again, this is like 1984, 85. 84 when the first one came out. This, I don't know, maybe 84 later on, maybe 85, give or take. And then we're introduced to April O'Neil. And you see a little bit of that gore, violence, which showcases how dangerous these things are. I was saying, if you do this the right way, it could be like an interesting sci-fi horror movie version of a Ninja Turtle film, if done the right way. Of course, it mentions the rat problem, and then I like this, it cuts to that and Splinter. We have a little bit of the turtles being rough and tumble here. Raph throwing Mighty, then Mighty throwing Raph. As we're introduced to April O'Neil, which, yes, April O'Neil was Baxter Stockman's assistant. I know, thanks to the 80s cartoon, then they put into the first movie, people tend to think April was more of just a reporter through and through. And they do forget that actually she was an assistant to Baxter Stockman. And she found out what was going on, the shitload that he has. And later on we'll find out that he's actually using these to rob banks. As he puts it here, I'm doing it because it's fun. Remember that bad guys could just be evil for evil's sake. It's not because they have to be sympathetic. He's doing it for fun. Are we having fun yet? Okay, Miles Dyson. Sable's gotta get the fuck out of Dodge. Of course, like every evil scientist, they gotta have a random trapdoor that goes right into the sewer. Why he didn't just trap her and unleash his mouses onto her, I don't know. I mean, if he has her trapped here, he just put a couple mousers and just have her chomped up right there. But no, it's like, I will allow you to escape into the sewer, and then I'm going to send them out to you. Slain by the very technology marvels her computer skills made possible. And then eventually, I did a nice detail on the sewer walls here. Definitely has that grungy look. Nice details on the mousers as well. You tell that, like, the artwork in the first issue was nice. This one, they definitely put a lot more detail. Probably had a little bit more time. Now they know they had something here. Then the turtles get their moments to shine. I do like that split. Each one using their weapons. Yeah, just Mikey's back with Splinter. So you have Raph, Donnie, and Leo. At the end of the faces is still that angry, pointed down snout beat type of look. It's not till later where it's much more, I don't know how you put it, smooth. Much more bubbly. I don't know how else to put it. It's a nice look though for the early years. And she takes it rather well, other you know. She's a little bit freaked out. Told their names. And then what a fantastic story. So she took the news very well. Then we have his asshole mastermind here. A ransom for $1 billion. How does anyone ever expect to get $1 billion? And even the news program thinks it's a damn hoax. Well, not anymore. And now we're getting a little bit more of the turtles being heroes. Because in the first it was more them being assassins and killing Shredder, and now it's we need to do the right thing. As it says, this man is mad, he must be stopped. But towards reestablish the bit of the trap door, so we have a way for the turtles to get back in. I forgot Leo said that your reign of terror has ended. Yeah, I know, pretty corny, cheesy line, but again, these are early comics, so it is what it is. And this is before the turtles really got more personality. So what's great here is, again, is the artwork, the grittiness, the look of it. It's just, sadly, the turtles don't really have too much personality as of right now. You say they're kind of interchangeable between the four. And why... Sorry, I'm allergic to Leo. Like, come on, dude. You got this fucking Miles Dyson, like, got the drop on you, dude. What are you doing? And this is what I was talking about before, how sometimes it's a bit hard to know which turtle is doing what. So for example, this turtle who grabs Stockman, is this Leo after he, or is this Mighty? Like, I don't know which one this is. If it's Leo, he doesn't have his sword. If it's this turtle behind here, so again, I don't know which turtle that is. And maybe for some it doesn't matter, but it's obviously not Raphael because he's telling him, shut this guy up. So again, we're establishing a little bit of what kind of person Raphael is. They get him to be the muscle of the group. Shut this motherfucker up. I do like that moment. It's one of my favorite moments. Getting Raphael to shut this motherfucker up. And then we're going to establish that Donatello is even more of the tech guy because he's the one that's going to stay with April to try to shut them down while the other three. And what I liked about this, it becomes a siege movie. You know, they find these explosives. The other three don't go in the tunnels and blow it up. And then, yeah, it becomes a siege movie where it's like this unending army of creatures, this type, the Melsers, just coming out of the woodwork. And that'd be cool to see. That'd be cool to see like an action horror movie with the turtles fighting these things left and right, like Aliens or these other type of siege movies. I got the poster of Aliens right behind me. Like, it could be that. Let's rock! You know. You got the explosions. I do like the way... I like the way it just looks with the big text in the backdrop. The darkness shading. Like, again, sometimes it's a bit unsure as to who is talking. Like, who is this that says my ears hurt? Again, I keep repeating that. That's only really one of my few issues. But you get more of the actual siege stuff as Donnie and April rush against time, and I like that. Like this tension of like going back and forth. April and Donnie, back to them fighting. April and Donnie, back to them fighting. April and Donnie, back to them fighting. Back and forth, back and forth. See, this constant back and forth, there to forth, back to forth. And look at that shot. That's such a killer shot. You just see how they just keep on coming. They're much bigger in the frame, so much more imposing. And it seems like they just keep on coming as these guys just fight however and whatever they can, holding them back like damn Zulu. Even this is, you know, let's see if they're coming out of the walls. Everything's going to black. And that's really cool. Like this kind of, after the storm, the calmness. Everything's been shut down. Everything's fine. And here they are in the black. It's just the way they showcase that with all the darkness around. There's a nice atmospheric vibe to the whole thing. And of course, Raphael got one right there. And that's a nice shot to end it. Coming in 1985. As this says, anyways, it's about time somebody did a send-up of all this ninja stuff. I've even got people asking me for pics of, what the hell? Sunny in a ninja outfit. I'm wondering, since the issue was unnumbered, if you're planning on continuing with the Turtles. Personally, I think the joke may wear itself out after a couple of issues, but hell, you never know. Well, Joshua, I wonder where is Joshua Quagmire in Hollywood, California. I wonder where he's at. If somehow, some way, some form, Joshua Quagmire from California is here, I just obviously did not wear out its welcome because they're still doing turtle stuff today. Granted, it may not be great stuff like that shitty Mutant Mayhem movie, but they're still doing some stuff today, so there you go. So, sorry, I know I went silent there, but it's crazy how you take this idea that's kind of trying to be a parody of the mutants, X-Men, stuff like Daredevil, and how it just really got a life of its own. You see this kind of journey this is taken. Would be nice if that fucking Ninja Turtle documentary ever got made and released, but don't hold your breath on it. But yeah, this is a very... I really enjoyed this issue, reading it, looking back on it, because I love kind of the Siege vibe to it. Nice introduction of April O'Neil. You tell the artwork jumped a few notches since the first one. A bit more refined. And overall, really enjoyed it. A lot of cool shots. This one in particular, like, that's a killer shot. Like, come on now, that's a killer shot right there. Very enjoyable issue. Cool, different type of villains. Unique to its own world. But overall, a lot of fun. I mean, I could see this working for a movie, if done right, of course. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.